what I'd like to perhaps start off with is to explain to you, you've got a hypothalamus, okay? Now your hypothalamus is in your brain. It sort of controls your hormones, and it keeps it warns different organs of your body through your brain what you need to keep you safe, to keep you healthy. So for example, if you're hungry, you'll get pangs of pain in your stomach. That's the hypothalamus kicking in and letting you're hungry, you need to eat. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't actually be able to get warnings when we need something like water, food, etc. So that's the hypothalamus's role. Now there's a lot that the hypothalamus does, but you don't need to know all that, okay? Just to understand that there's three components: the hypothalamus, the amygdala, and also the adrenal glands. Now, what happens is when you are hungry, hypothalamus kicks in, okay? Lets you know that you're hungry. What the hypothalamus does when you're really stressed out and maybe your mental state is thinking, worrying about this, worrying about the bills coming in, worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, worrying that, oh my God, my children just gone off for a trip, maybe, they're going to have a car accident, worrying about work and that you have to go tomorrow and that you're not real happy with your work, worrying about your relationship or arguing. These things all cloud the mind. Okay, pretty sensible, right? But what happens is when this is happening in your mind, the hypothalamus kicks in because it's causing you to be stressed. Okay, while you're worrying, your blood pressure's going up, etc. And the hypothalamus goes, hey, this person's in danger, and it puts you into fight and flight. Now, if you've seen series 1, those 2 videos in series 1, you'll understand what fight and flight is, okay? It's the way to keep you safe. But what happens with anxiety and panic, mostly like panic disorder, is what it does, the hypothalamus sends a signal to the amygdala and it says, whoa, you're in danger, release cortisol, you're in fight or flight mode, because basically your hypothalamus thinks they need to protect you because you're so stressed out, and they think, oh, she's in a dangerous situation or he's in a dangerous situation. So it sends a signal through to the amygdala, and the amygdala releases cortisol, and the cortisol goes and releases the adrenal glands, right? Now, when adrenaline starts pumping through your body, what happens? Your heart starts racing, right? That's why you feel like those palpitations, which are really uncomfortable. And what happens? It's preparing your body for fight or flight, and that means, you sweat. If you have to say you come across a dangerous animal and you've got to fight it, you're going to start sweating profusely because that's preparing the body to keep cool, giving you water on the skin so that you can actually take off and you'll be cool while you're trying to fight or run away. In really fearful situations, you might feel like nauseous, and that's why when you're having panic, you feel like you're nauseated, and some people even vomit because their panic is so bad. So basically, this is like what will happen when you're in fight or flight mode. It actually creates this problem with your stomach, and when you're having a panic attack, that's exactly what you start to feel, right? Because you're in fight and flight mode. So you start to feel nauseous. You might feel like you want to vomit. The other thing too is that when you're in fight or flight, you've got to get more oxygen in, okay? So that helps you stay and fight because you've got to have more lung capacity. So your lungs expand, and that makes you have to shallow breathe, okay? That oxygen has been taking in and going through your bloodstream, preparing you again, more oxygen to fight or flight. However, when you're having a panic attack, that's a really uncomfortable feeling because you can feel like you're choking and you can't breathe, okay? That's because you're in fight or flight mode. So these, the tingling, the shaking, the trembling, if you look at my 2 videos, I'll explain each one of those, what it's doing, what it's doing to your body and how it's preparing you. So what you need to know is that this mind of yours controls everything. It is what is putting you into fight or flight mode. Now, if you have a nice calm mind all the time and you're thinking about the sea and tomorrow's, oh, I'm going to have breakfast with my, loved one. I'm going down for a walk in the park. Oh, I can relax tomorrow. I don't have to go to work. You're nice and calm. However, majority of us aren't like that. Okay, we worry, and we worry often so irrationally. We worry, oh gosh, and this is the thing about people with anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder. That's not the panic part. It's just people who worry a lot, and people who worry a lot can end up with the panic. So what you really have to try and do is start thinking, what is stressing you out? Okay, what is in your life is actually making you so stressed? Because as long as you have that stress, this mind is going to also be stressed. Now, there's so much more I want to tell you. However, I'm just going to focus, because otherwise this is going to be 25 minutes and that's not going to work, okay? So the first thing I'm going to say to you, the first piece of advice today that I'm giving you is watch the 2 videos, right? Watch each video that comes out. But the first thing today that you have to try and do is to reduce your stress levels, reduce the worrying. And what that takes is to stop every time, check on your mind, check on your body, okay? Your body check, your mind check, which means, sorry if I'm looking all over the place, but I'm not used to doing this on my laptop, so I kind of look down at my screen instead of looking up at where the camera is. And so I want you to think about, when you watch the videos, you'll really understand why your mind is so in control, okay, of the amygdala, and why you get panic. So the first thing you've got to do from today is to start doing a body check, right? So you check your body every half an hour. You think, oh, geez, look at the way I'm sitting. Oh, my God, my neck's all stressed out. And check on your mental thinking. What are you thinking? Right now, what are you thinking? Stop right now. Think about what you're thinking. You're probably listening to me, okay, hopefully. But this is a method that you need to practice every single day, because 99.9% of the thousands of thoughts unconsciously that go through our mind chatter, we're not even conscious with what we're thinking, okay? So these thousands of thoughts are just allowed to just go wild, okay, and you're not even aware. By checking on your thinking, you are able to think about what you're thinking. This is called metacognition, thinking about thinking. Okay, so you stop, you think about what you're thinking. Now, it might be that you're thinking about, oh gosh, I hope she's all right. I hope mum's all right at home. Maybe I should ring. Okay, is that a rational thought? Mum's probably fine. Of course, if mum's sick, that's an understandable thought, okay? But you can actually then say, okay, that's an understandable thought. I'm going to go, that thought's fairly okay, and I need to think about that, and I'll ring up mum later. But there's no point in worrying, because I can't do that right now for the next hour because I'm at work, okay? And that is rational thinking. You've rationalised that thought and you've gone, no, stop. Now, what I give advice is you put a stop sign up. You visualise a red stop sign, right? Just like when you're driving. And when you're checking on your thinking and you realise you're thinking something that is worrying, example, bills are coming in. Oh, my God, I can't pay them. Oh, cripes, Jesus, I'm going to be on holidays soon. How am I going to make any money? Like they don't pay me as a relief teacher during the holidays. How am I going to make any money? Stop, Jayne. All the worrying is not going to change the situation you're in. All the worrying in the world is not going to change it. Right, you've got the bills, rationalise. Have you ever had a bill collector come in? No, not to date. Right, you'll be right. You'll be able to pay them. Stressing out over them is not going to make any difference, just going to give you an ulcer. Stop. What can I do now? I'm going to stop that thought and I'm going to go and water the garden, okay? This is just the first beginnings of healing anxiety. Okay, there is so much information that I need to give you, but this is what I'm going to start with. So this is your challenge. Now, you're going to do that for the whole week, and what I'd like you to do is come back on the group page and tell me how you went. Okay, check your body continually. Okay, check your thoughts continually. Now, this is not, you know, unfortunately, people who are going to have really bad panic attacks, this is just not a quick fix, right? There's a lot more you need to know. However, this is a start, okay? And especially if you're a worry person but you haven't got to the panic yet, you need to learn how to do that, okay? Same thing, you go to bed, worry. Oh God, what did I say last night? Oh geez, at that party, everyone must think I'm an idiot. What did I say that for? Oh goodness. Hey, listen, everyone else is not thinking about you. They're sitting probably on Facebook, cooking dinner, hanging out with their kids, whatever. They're not thinking about you. Okay, so this is a completely irrational thought, and people who kind of and this again is another level of understanding you will get from me, but people aren't that concerned about you. Okay, so you can spend all night churning where you can't turn your head off, right? Listen, you know why I know all this? I suffered anxiety, but long before I ever had panic disorder, which came after a major car attack, I was a person who could never shut my mind off. I stayed up with insomnia every night, and I think if it was a tap, I would just like it turn off. What really helped me was when I first started studying my very first degree in education, and it talked about metacognition. Now, in those days, they didn't know about what I do now, cognitive behavioural therapy and all about thinking, amygdala, blah, blah, blah. But that, I was smart enough to go, think about your thinking. Oh, that makes metacognition, thinking about thinking, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I started to think about the way I thought, okay? And I started to realise that I had irrational thinking, worrying about what people thought of me, what people said. And this came from, you know, trauma that I'd suffered in life and as a child, etc. And these are the things that I am actually going to talk to you about. So that's why I would say to you, you know, it's a healing your whole life. But for those people who had a perfect childhood and had a perfect marriage and everything, can still get anxiety because it's here. The worry, hypothalamus kicks in. Hey, this person, their blood pressure's going. I better warn them, you know, they're in fight or flight mode. Trigger off cortisol into the amygdala. Amygdala goes in, adrenal glands, gets adrenaline going, bang, heart starts racing, blood pressure goes up. And, you know, even if you don't get the panic attack, eventually that's probably where you're going to end up. So this is your challenge for this week, okay? Putting up that stop sign. I'm not going to. That's so irrational. Why am I worrying about what's going to happen in 3 years' time? You know, why? You know, what? I might be dead in 3 years' time. Or why am I worrying that I'm going to die in 10 years' time or 15 years' time and I've got cancer now, you know? Well, you know, look, I'll stop here because there's so much I want to tell you, okay? I help a lot of people with anxiety. They pay me a lot of money. So I'm happy to be here doing this for you, and I'm really passionate about what I do. And I really want to see this stop sign up this week and reducing stress. So try and find some time for yourself this week. You know, there are things that can wait. There are always things that can wait, okay? You know, if you're anything like me, I wake up in the morning and I'm go, right? But I've learned how to go, I'm a perfectionist. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm so buggered, stuff the dishes, they can stay till tomorrow. Now, I never used to be like that, okay? And most nights, I've got to tell you, I do my dishes, but you know, there's times where I've come back, I've been working all day and I'll do that. So I want you to start off with this. I really hope this has helped you. Please, can you give me comments and tell me if this is helping you, or if I raved on too much. Please tell me, Jayne, you've raved on too much, okay? Listen, beautiful people, there is help out here, and I've got so much to teach you. I'm a psychoeducation, cognitive behavioural therapist, and I've had so much experience in education in the mental health field with adults and children. So whatever I tell you here, hang in there. There's a lot more coming. Okay, good night. Take care.